Hi, Alice Reinhardt again. I wanted to make an addendum to my first video rather than going back and recreating an entire video all over again. When I pulled up the rubric to compare what I had done with what was required, I felt like I had missed a point or two along the way. So I wanted to go back and add those in, and I have added it into the written work as well. So the first thing that I wanted to add was when I was questioning about the relationship that the client had with their job, and trying to figure out if that is where the base of the stress was coming from. And so what I wanted to add here is that if the stress and subsequent weight gain can be laying at the feet of the corporate job, then that needs additional questions specifically designed to the job. And these questions could be, what would be an acceptable choice for you in changing your work environment? What kind of conversations with management need to occur? And what areas of delegation do you need to implement? All of this is going off of a suggestions that we really don't know are happening. So I'm trying to imagine if there's a serious problem in the work environment which is causing the undue stress and like I said, the subsequent weight gain for this client. Seeing what she could change or they could change in their work environment could be very helpful to the client. So those are the three questions that I wanted to get at there. I wanted to test and see if they were willing to make whatever changes that were within their power in their job situation. Another addendum that I wanted to add took their current family life just a little bit deeper, because again, if the weight gain is traceable back to their current family life and the dynamics that are happening there, then that means more specific questions have to be brought to the table for discussion. Questions such as, what changes need to happen in your household to help your stress and eating habits? If this is a situation to where it's time management or shared responsibilities, then that needs to be looked at. Some more questions would be, what conversations need to occur with your partner to address these needed changes? That, of course, is assuming that there is a partner in the picture. Then also, excuse me, I would be curious as to what part of the children's day is the most important to the client, and what needs to change in their daily schedule to enable the client to have that important part of the day. If the important part of the day is when the children are getting up and there's conflict with when the client has to go to work, well, then that needs to be built into the equation and needs to be considered. If bedtime is the most important time for this client to be able to have special time with their children, then that is something that needs to be honored. And in doing that, if that could alleviate the stress and whatever effect that stress was having in the family life, whether that was on the weight gain or just overall stress, then that actually needs to be taken into consideration. A third addendum follows where I'm asking the client about who they are and how they see themselves. Excuse me. If there is a generalized cause of harsh self-judgment, which happens to be defeating the client's self-image, then taking time to explore the conversations with the client, or explore the conversations that the client has with themselves is very prudent. Um, it is really important to understand the messages that the client is sending to themselves. So, I would start with saying, what message do you believe about yourself? Um, and then I would also ask, where did this message originate? I, I would want to know where the client's value and worth originated also. It is it based strictly on their performance, or is this something that or have they ever has it ever been suggested to them that they carry a value and worth outside of what they do and how they perform in a situation? And then I would also ask them the question, what are some things you can do to begin changing the message you are receiving? Um, that this would entail a lot of work, rewriting the messages that you receive about yourself is pretty much a daunting task, and it's something that has to be carried out over time. Okay, and then the final addendum is just in kind of in summation. Um, Again, I reviewed the rubric and saw some places which lacked. So the referring back to the last edition, um, actually caused me to pause and look closer at the client's need, um, and if that need would actually potentially need a referral. Because if their weight gain goes back to a shaming experience in their youth, then overcoming that wound needs more than a coach is uh, is qualified to offer. Um, so if those root causes lie at the feet of their childhood identity, that could explain the struggle with the weight as well as the stress in the client's corporate world. So thank you for allowing me to add those addendums. Um, and yeah, thanks.